Hi and welcome to this channel. Now in this video we're going to be talking about how to journal your way to healing. Now in the previous video I shared my experience of how God completely healed me from depression, and for me it wasn't an instant thing, it was more of a process. And in that process, what God equipped me with were tools to be able to deal with the low moments. And one of the earliest tools that I learned or that God taught me was journaling. What journaling does, I believe, is that it orders your thoughts, because sometimes our minds can be a beehive of activities and thoughts and a number of thoughts just running through your mind. And what journaling will do is that it will help you to order your thoughts. See, the thing with depression is that it likes to creep in. And how it creeps in is that sometimes it just starts with a negative thought or a voice, and then it grows into worry and then anxiety, and then now depression will creep in slowly, And so to avoid ruminating on negative thoughts, because that's what the mind does. And now I understand why Jesus would say, do not worry, because even if you worried, you're not able to add even a single day to your life. Look at the birds of the air. He would say, look at the birds of the air, they are fed. Look at the lilies of the valleys, they are clothed. How much more you and I, who are created in the image and likeness of God? And then we are also told, in fact, this one is a command. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, through supplication and prayer, make your requests known to God. And then the peace of God that transcends all human understanding will guard your heart forever. So avoid ruminating, staying on negative thoughts. See, sometimes as human beings, we don't realize the power or the God-given ability to be able to silence the negative thoughts and voices. You have that ability to silence those thoughts, to silence those negative voices. They don't have to live free in your head. They can be kicked out. Because you see, the mind was created to magnify things. And it's not its fault. It's the structure by which the mind was created by. That's why when you get a thought or an idea, for example, to, start a chocolate business, what will happen is that your mind will magnify it. See, it's just a thought or an idea that dropped into your mind, and that is like in seed form. And then what your mind does is that it magnifies you and gives you an image. All of a sudden, you're able to see yourself owning the chocolate business and people selling to people. You've already seen it in your mind. Therefore, you bring it from your mind into the reality by executing the idea so that it's brought into reality. So that's what the mind does. And unfortunately, even for the negative thoughts, that's how it works, because the mind was created to do that. Remember, we are made in the image and likeness of God. Us as human beings, we were a thought in God's mind. Before we came into existence, we were spoken into existence, right? Before we came into existence, we were thought in God's mind. So that's how the system works. God deposits ideas, downloads ideas and thoughts into our minds that he wants executed on earth, because rulership of earth was given to human beings. That's why the Lord's Prayer goes like, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We are more like God than we even think. So we are made and created in God's image. The other thing I want to talk about is, do not ignore, do not suppress, do not demonize your feelings. For the longest time as human beings, our feelings have been demonized. oh, this person is emotional and all that. No, emotions were created by God. God himself has emotions. He laughs, he groans, he laughs, he wept, he gets angry. But it says the emotion is not, people have demonized emotions because they think emotions are sin. It says, there's a part in the Bible that says, sin you do be angry in your anger, do not sin. So it means you can be angry but do not sin, because the emotion of anger is usually brought about by when someone feels like there's an injustice that has happened. Anger starts to rise up, and it's rising up to indicate something is wrong. I like to call emotions and feelings internal senses, our internal senses as human beings, and they were given or put there for a reason. So do not demonize your emotions. Do not ignore your emotions. Do not suppress your emotions, because one time or the other, if you ignore, if you suppress your emotions, you'll have an outburst. What you're supposed to do is acknowledge your emotion. I feel sad. I feel sad because of A, B, C, and D, and acknowledge your emotion and then address your emotion. If you feel anger, it's usually because there's an injustice that is happening. And what are you able to do that is in your power to be able to mitigate that, So that's why emotions are there. They are like our internal senses, as I like to call them. So what journaling will help you with is that it will help you to order your thoughts. You'll be able to write down, I feel angry because of this and this and this. What can I do about the situation? I feel happy because of this and this and this and this. How can I reinforce that so that I am more joyful in life generally? So avoid ignoring, avoid demonizing, and avoid suppressing your emotions. Instead, acknowledge them and address them, because then journaling then comes in to help with this. You're able to write down how you feel exactly, because sometimes you just need to point out exactly how you're feeling in order to just release, because it's not supposed to stay. Emotions, when you stay long in an emotion, that's when depression will start to creep in, and we want to avoid that. So to avoid that, just acknowledge how you're feeling and then address how you're feeling. You can journal it down, okay? So I'm developing a course on helping people know how to journal, because it's so important to be able to acknowledge our emotions and then address them. Because when you suppress emotions, it's easy for depression, anxiety to creep in, and that's what we want to avoid. So fill in that form. If you want to learn how to journal, I can teach you. So I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, click the like button so that more people are recommended this kind of content to help more people be able to heal. See you in the next one. Bye.